How is it already week 10 of the college football season? Welcome back to the Green Beans Go channel. It's your host, me, and my allergies are killing me today. I don't know why my fall allergies are now worse than my spring allergies. I'm taking medicine before you even suggest it. I'm doing all the steps, and I can't get any relief. So we're going to keep it light today. We're just going to talk about 5 games that I'm most excited for on Saturday. Here we go. We will start with the game featuring the Irish and the Tigers, and this one, I know I hate to do it immediately, but you see it. The Green Beans Go Extra Most Bestest stamp of approval right here on this first game. Notre Dame -3. And I'm going to stop and say this one is confusing me so much, I'm worried about this pick. It is not often that I feel like the lines are just wrong, right? And when I feel like the lines are just wrong, it makes me worried that I'm missing something. I don't know how this is only a 3-point game. I think Notre Dame is a top 7 college football team. I realize that they are ranked 15th, but I think if you remove their loss at Louisville, this team is actually in the top 7. I think that was a bad loss in the middle of an awful stretch. They had Ohio State, they had Duke, they had Louisville, and they had USC all in a row. This team exposed USC. It was the first team to expose USC. I think Notre Dame is a very, very, very strong team, and this game at Clemson is nothing to them mentally because they have been through the fire already this year. Now, the one thing I will say is they have to stop making critical errors and stupid mistakes. If they can play a clean game, I don't think this one is particularly close. As for Clemson, they are 4-4. I will say that again. Dabo Swinney is leading a Clemson football team that is 500 right now. That is not something we've seen in recent years. They have lost 2 straight games. Now, those 2 games were on the road, so they get to come back home, which I think helps. However, their best win this season, I think, is the Wake Forest game that they won only 17-12. They have injuries galore on their offense, okay? I think Notre Dame's defense does its job, and Notre Dame probably puts up 30 to 35 points on this team and wins comfortably. And now we start a 4-game trend of me being totally unsure what's going to happen. Kansas State visits Texas, and Texas still does not have Quinn Ewers. He is not going to play. Their backup Murphy will start again, and I think this means that Texas has to rely on Jonathan Brooks and run often. If they can run the ball, and they can stop the run, they will win this game. I believe those are the keys to the game. Kansas State is not the most talented passing offense. If they are forced into long passing situations, I think they will struggle. However, the one thing that I noticed with Texas is that their game against Oklahoma, which they lost, Dylan Gabriel had over 100 rushing yards against them. So if Kansas State can get the quarterbacks running, it may be a struggle for Texas, but I'm going to put this as Texas -4 and assume that they've cleaned up some of that. I do also like the under 49.5. I hesitate on both of these picks just because we know Kansas State has put up points in the recent weeks, but I think this just has to be a slow defensive game if Texas wants to win, so I'm going to play that script. Texas -4, under 49.5. A beautiful Bedlam rivalry. Oklahoma visits Oklahoma State, and Oklahoma was undefeated until last week. They played a very weird game in Kansas where it was raining. There was a delay for about 2.5 hours in the second quarter. They got off to a really slow start. They made really poor defensive plays in the first half. I was watching it, and it's like every time Kansas was running the ball, Oklahoma felt it necessary to try to focus on forcing a fumble rather than making a tackle. And so Kansas just got away with a lot of things that I don't think Oklahoma State will get away with in this game because I expect Oklahoma to clean this up. So -6, I think, is a good spot, and over 61.5 is what I would play. But again, I have no confidence in that. So last week was their first loss of the season. I think they lost that game more than Kansas won that game. But I think this is a phenomenal bounce back spot because Oklahoma State's defense is not great, like ranked 70th or below in the country in most statistical categories. So I think this is a game where Oklahoma can come in, they can rebound, and they can put up 45 points. But Oklahoma State is riding hot. They have 4 good wins in a row. It started with a win on like a Thursday or Friday night game against Kansas State. But I don't think they have the defense that can contain Dylan Gabriel. Now, Marcus Major, Oklahoma's running back, is injured. He's questionable in this one, but their backup last week looked fine. So I don't think that matters a ton. Now, Oklahoma State relies heavily on its run game, and I think Oklahoma will come in and clean up some of its errors from last week, focus on stopping that run, and be able to control this game and control what Oklahoma State likes to do. So -6 for Oklahoma and the over, but again, not feeling the greatest about either of those. You see it. There it is. The Green Means Go Extra Most Bestest second play and final play of this week. I went 2 spreads instead of a total. As you can see, I'm not confident about any of these totals this week. Washington visits USC, and they're 3-point favorites, and I think that is far too low. I think this game is the Michael Penix Heisman audition. He is plus 270 right now to win the Heisman. He is the Heisman favorite right now, and he gets a cush matchup against the preseason Heisman favorite in prime time. It's perfect for Michael Penix, and it should be gift wrapped for him to take at his will. I think this is a Washington team that could come in and put up 50 points on the road. USC allowed Cal to put up 49 last week. And had Cal kick the field goal or the extra point after their touchdown and gone into overtime, they may have gotten 60 on this defense. So I don't think this game will be close if Washington can stop USC. Now, Washington has had its fair share of struggles defensively as well, allowing 30 points multiple times this season. So keep your eye on that. I know it's weird that you're going with the under. I'll explain it in a second. But if I was USC, I would be scared of this game, and the only way I think USC has a chance to win is to slow this game down, which good luck, right? That's not their style. That's not how USC plays football. So they have to completely revamp their offensive mindset this game if they want to win, and I don't know if they will. I think they will try to play a shootout with Washington, and I don't think it will go well for them. I think they might lose this game by upwards of 20 points. All right, that's a ton. But I think Washington's defense is going to come in and they're going to say, look, we know our offense is going to put up points, so it's on us to win this game. And I think they're going to respond well. They have film. Okay, go watch the Notre Dame USC game. The recipe for beating USC is out there. Go watch it, right? I think they'll be ready for this. So I think Washington could put up, 40, 45 points, be comfortable there, and I think they can hold USC to 20 to 28. So that is how I get to the -3 and the under. I realize those kind of contradict, but that's what I'm riding with. I'm more confident in the spread. And the last game that I am most excited about this week is the game in Tuscaloosa, and I have no confidence in it because I can see it going one of 2 ways. So I will explain the 2 ways I see it going, and you can make your picks accordingly. So if my back was against a wall, I would say LSU +3 and the under, which contradicts completely everything I'm going to talk about, whatever. LSU has scored 49 points in 5 straight games. 49 points in 5 straight games. Okay, if they score 40 in this one, I think they will win. Now, Alabama is the best defense they've played in 5 straight games, so we'll see if they can do that. I think LSU's defense is pretty standard. They can allow points. They can stop. You never know what you're going to get, but ultimately, Bama is not flashy. Okay, Bama relies a lot on big plays to stay in games or win games. If LSU can limit those big plays, Alabama may struggle to put up 30 points. So if LSU can score 40, I believe they win this game. Now, Alabama's defense is their bright spot. It's what they rely on. And so my advice, my script, my matchup to Alabama is good luck. Good luck. This has to be a Nick Saban masterclass. If he comes in and stops Jalen Daniels and holds LSU to 28 to 30 points, Alabama has a chance. It has to be a well-coached, well-played, well-organized game if Alabama wants to win. It has to be in the high 20s or low 30s, I think. Okay, so with my picks here, I'm cheating a little bit. I'm taking LSU +3 because I think if it's a high-scoring game, that cashes, and I'm taking the under because I think if it's a low-scoring game, the under will hit. So do I think both of those picks feed into each other? No. If you like LSU +3, I think in this game, wildly enough, you like the over. And I think if you like Alabama -3, you like the under. So that is my tip. That is my advice. I think usually we see the favorite go with the over and the dog go with the under. But I think in this case, it's bizarrely flip-flopped. So pay attention to that as you make your picks if you choose to pick anything in this game. That's what I got for you. Short and sweet. As always, guys, I appreciate you coming by. We're over 700 subscribers now, which is just a tremendous blessing. People are commenting that I don't know, and I know that sounds weird, but I'm new to this. I'm trying to build this brand. I'm trying to do this full time eventually. Hey, trash truck. Looking ahead for 5 years down the line, I want to say, it was a slow, tedious grind at first, but we built this honestly, and I think that's what we're doing now. So I'm thankful for that. So thanks, guys. I'm gonna thank you until I pass. So morbid. We'll see you next time.